There is a mathematical limit to the modern classroom. One teacher attempting to serve 33 distinct learning styles simultaneously. When a student struggles to grasp a concept, the obstacle is rarely the core idea itself. Often, they are blocked by the format, and simply repeating a text-heavy lecture slower or louder does nothing to remove that barrier. Take an exchange student from Ecuador. He reads Spanish fluently and understands the academic concepts, but is entirely locked out of a fast-paced English lecture format. The core problem here is not the student's intellect. The problem is the physical impossibility of a teacher finding the time to reshape a single lesson 5 different ways for 5 different needs. By introducing an AI engine, it became possible to generate the exact same conceptual lesson in both English and Spanish simultaneously. The language barrier vanished. The student bypassed the format issue entirely and was able to engage directly with the core academic material. If a format shift could bridge the gap for one student, it raised a clear question. How do you scale that bespoke intervention for every student in the room without sacrificing the subject matter expertise of the teacher standing at the front of it? The answer to that question is TeachSpark. It is an educational platform and a connected ecosystem, not a magic general-purpose chatbot. Teachers do not need to be prompt engineers to use it. As you can see here, the engine only requires a bare, plain language lesson goal to get started. The engine takes that single, simple goal and uses it as a foundational seed to build multiple variations of the exact same concept. By removing the friction of complex prompt writing, the teacher remains the pedagogical expert. The software simply handles the mechanical labor of creating the variation. The primary output of this seed is a bespoke, interactive, student-facing activity generated directly from that initial goal. From that concept, a teacher requests secondary outputs, a group activity, lesson plan, or worksheet. These are entirely separate, deliberate requests. The platform avoids spitting out a messy bundle of content, focusing on one thing at a time. Because of this deliberate approach, generating an activity requires a true 5 to 7 minute wait. It is never instant. The engine is not filling in a pre-made template. It is writing and coding a functional, custom HTML web page from scratch for every single request. That 5 to 7 minute wait is the necessary cost of delivering a finished, classroom-ready product. To ensure that finished product holds up in a real classroom, the engine was stress-tested against severe academic friction, the AP U.S. History Document-Based Question, or DBQ. This is a DBQ practice activity. The format challenges AI by requiring the analysis of dense primary sources. The platform's logic was refined by failing against these rigorous standards, learning to hit specific rubric requirements for contextualization and evidence. True educational tools have to be forged in the friction of real, rigorous classroom material, rather than designed in a vacuum for clean marketing demos. Even with that built-in rigor, the engine will not always generate a perfect activity on its very first attempt. Because the activities are coded web pages, they aren't manually editable. The solution is regeneration, clicking a single button to trigger a completely fresh 5-minute build, rather than forcing the teacher to manually fix broken code. Before regenerating, teachers can use mechanical controls to differentiate the depth of scaffolding. They can alter the activity's demand by selecting specific difficulty levels, like ELL or IEP and 504 settings. This is the reality of reteaching. It is the ability to take a single concept and stretch it into a reading analysis, a visual timeline, or a translated lesson to match exactly how a specific student learns. TeachSpark is a deliberate curriculum ecosystem built to do exactly that. It gives teachers the scale and reach necessary to finally connect with the one student they couldn't